Hey y'all, I'm Nick Pomeroy here with PR Equipment in Kearns, Texas today. We've also got a store in Canton, Texas as well, which we carry the Bad Boy line at both stores. But wanted to talk a little bit about Bad Boy and a lot about this specific model. So if you've seen any of my other videos, we've talked about Gravely, we've talked about Spartan, we've talked a little bit about Grasshopper. Today, I want to talk about the Bad Boy line. And so, a little bit of a backstory to this, if you haven't seen the videos. I'll be honest with you, it feels weird to be sitting here talking about Bad Boy because we have literally been selling against them for years. We've been selling the Spartan lineup for 6 years now and sold a ton of those mowers. And of course, one of the biggest competitors against the Spartan lineup was always Bad Boy. And so it just so happened that the local dealer is no longer in business here near our current store, and so the opportunity came up to take on Bad Boy. And the truth is, there's a handful of reasons why we did it, right? So first and foremost, all these customers that bought from that dealership and some other dealerships were looking to us for service. We pride ourselves on taking care of our customers, parts, service, all that after the sale, right? So anybody can sell you a mower. You can go down to Tractor Supply, you can go up to the Atwoods, whatever it is, you can buy a mower. But the truth is that ownership experience, it suffers, right? So buying from a dealer is just a huge difference maker when it comes to buying a mower. So we can sell these just as cheap as the box stores, but you've got a dealer to kind of support you and back you up. If you have trouble with that thing out of the box from Atwoods, you got to find somebody to help you take care of it, right? But if you buy it from us, of course, we're going to be here with you through the whole process. So first and foremost, we were already working on these mowers from the local dealership that closed. And so it kind of made sense for us to take them on just so we had better access to parts and obviously service information, be able to warranty these mowers, things like that. Number two, they do a phenomenal job with marketing. You probably know that. You've probably seen their marketing in other places. They do a really good job with marketing. But there's a handful of other things that we really like about them. So I kind of want to dig into a little bit. We're going to be really focused on this Maverick HD. So one of the things is they do a good job of trying to keep that price point in line. And so I'm a pretty big fan of what all they can give you for the price point. And so we wanted to look at this Maverick HD. It's kind of you could call it a prosumer, entry-level commercial mower. There's a few different categories this fits into. But when we start looking at the price, so the cash price on this machine is $83.69. That's with a 60-inch deck and the FX Kawasaki engine. So when you start to talk about the price point that you get there and what you get for it, which we're going to talk about now, you really start to realize that you're getting a lot for the money. And so I'm going to kind of dig into this, and we'll kind of start in front and work our way back. But one of the first things you notice is this heavy-duty I-beam front axle. So both your caster wheels are supported off this heavy I-beam, which has these rubber dampeners. So it gives you some front-end suspension that you don't get on a lot of other mowers. A couple other things I really like, obviously the heavy decks. I don't know that these are the heaviest decks in the industry, and of course on this model they're using a 7-gauge deck, but some of these Bad Boy mowers have up to a 3/8 thick deck, which to me is crazy. That is incredibly heavy duty, but you can see how much metal they're using to support the caster wheels and how reinforced that front leading edge is. It's just a really heavy deck, and of course it's fabricated, and one other thing that you notice right off the bat is how flat it is. So when we start talking about how flat it is, it's going to be really easy to clean, right? So we're going to be able to blow that off real easy. There's not a lot of obstructions that are going to keep that material from blowing off. The next thing that you got is obviously, and in all these, service is a big thing, right? So being able to maintain these machines, clean these machines, these things are really important. So I really like how this flips up and it stays on the machine. I really kind of like that as well. So when you hop up under here, you can see we got heavy duty pulleys, we got heavy duty spindles. All of the spindles are riding on these reinforced spindle mounts, right? That's really cool. So we live out in the country. A lot of the mowers we sell are used out in the country, so they're gonna hit stuff. And having those reinforced spindle mounts just protects that deck from bending. So if you do hit something with that spindle, you may damage the spindle. Sometimes that's just unavoidable. I don't care what brand of mower you got. But that reinforced spindle mount is going to keep you from damaging that deck, right? And I think that's really important. Probably the next thing that is super cool on this mower is the fact the seat is very nice. Armrest comes standard, but it is that full suspension seat we've talked about so much with Spartan. Having that full suspension makes the world of difference. And so I really don't care. I mean, this is worth the money, right? You really need to consider that. And so I really like that. Anyway, but you've got the turn knob style deck system. You've got 2 tanks on this. I think that's kind of cool as well. So each side is actually a fuel tank. So it holds a ton of fuel. So, and you've got a fuel shut-off valve here as well. So I really like that. So one of the things that we talk about, I like this park brake system. Spartan uses the pedals, and it's kind of handy when you're trailering, so it's not bad. But I just love how much force I can get on this brake system, because you can adjust those cables and you can really put the screws to how much that park brake grabs. So kind of switching gears and looking at a few other things here, we're talking back to that accessibility, right? So we can get to that battery very easily. It's very accessible. Both your reservoirs for both the transmissions, probably why we're talking about the reservoirs for the transmissions, is probably talking about that these are Hydro Gear 3400. They're the commercial, that first line of commercial transmissions. So having that is in this mower, which I would consider kind of more residential, but could definitely go commercial, I think it's really cool. As we move back, one of the other things is this engine. And so one of the things we've done here at PR Equipment, right, wrong, or indifferent, we are bringing in these Bad Boy mowers with either the Kawasaki or the Vanguard engines. We have had better luck with the Kawasaki Vanguard engines, but the truth is, one of the main driving factors behind this is we want to be specialists, right? We want to know exactly what we're doing. We want our techs to be able to know how to troubleshoot these engines. We want to be able to supply you with parts and have those on the shelf. And so the more brands and the more types of engines that we have to support, the harder that gets. And so for us, we're a big fan of the Kawasaki motors, and so you're going to see, if you come into the store, the majority of our Bad Boys are going to have the Kawasaki, and we got a handful that have the Vanguard engines. We love those engines as well. But what you're not going to see is the Kohler motors. I'm not knocking them. I know, to each their own. Somebody's going to beat me up for this, say Kohler's the best. That's fine. For us, we didn't see the reliability with some of our other brands to give us the good warm and fuzzy feeling about continuing on with that Kohler. So nothing we sell is going to have a Kohler. It's just something that we've decided to kind of step away from. But talking specifically about this FX series Kawasaki, this is top of the line Kawasaki, true commercial engine. And I love this. So it's the FX 730, good displacement, commercial heavy duty engines. And one of the big things is, and I don't care what brand of engine you buy, when you get that 2-stage air filtration, that's the #1 thing that knocks these engines out, is dirty air, right? So dirty oil, not maintaining it, bad fuel, but bad air is a huge one. So having that dual air filtration, this is very commonly seen on diesel engines, right? So we want to really protect those engines. And so we always have those 2-stage air filtration systems on there as well, with those heavy duty canister filters. I'm a big fan of this, and I'm a huge fan of the FX series Kawasaki engine. This happens to be a carbureted engine. As we move into some of the other lines, we can talk about EFI and things like that. But I'm a pretty big fan of this FX series, even the carbureted. In fact, probably one of the most reliable engines we sell is that carbureted FX series of engines. So talking about that, in addition to these tires, they're kind of aggressive, but they're still very easy on your turf. And just the construction as you move around, it's simple, but yet it's very heavy duty. And so there's a lot of steel in this machine. And I really like the paint quality here. We have, it's such an important thing is to get that paint quality. Of course, this is powder coated, but to get that paint quality kind of in line, it's such an important thing. And Bad Boy's really done a phenomenal job with that. So the Maverick HD, highly suggest this mower if you guys are mowing maybe 1 acre, 2 acres, 3 acres, 4 acres. This is a good option for you with that front suspension, the full suspension seat. And I really can't talk enough about it. It's just a cool looking mower. But they're built to last. They're all built in Batesville, Arkansas. So I've had plenty of trips to Batesville, Arkansas, going to the Spartan plant. It's interesting how they're across the street from each other, right? So across the street is Bad Boy. And they've been building these mowers for a long time. And so if you're looking for a new zero turn, come check us out. But the truth is, you can come look at a Spartan, you can come look at a Gravely, we can sell you a Bad Boy. Come in, check out what we've got in terms of zero turn mowers. I believe we have an option for everybody and everybody's budget. We've got great financing options, promos going on all the different times with the different brands. We want to be your mower dealership. So I'm Nick Pomeroy with PR Equipment. come check us out. You can check us out in Canton or just north of I-20 for now until we get our new store built. But you can check us out up in Canton. You can check us out here in Kearns. We have all the best brands. We have well-trained team members that can assist you, walking you through your options. We want to be your mower dealer. Thanks.